Hi everyone and good morning. It's Wednesday and we're halfway with Oslo Innovation Week. It's great to have you here live this morning. With me in my studio, I have a guest that's called Maria. And for many of you, she might be familiar, but Maria, welcome first of all.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Why don't you introduce yourself to those of our listeners and viewers that might not know you that well?
Yeah, thank you. My name is Marie. I'm co-founder of a company called Inspire Me.
Cool. And in brief, what does Inspire Me do?
We make technology for influence marketing. So we have a platform for both creators in social media and also brands and agencies that want to work with profiles in social media.
Great. Together with Oslo Innovation Week, we've been creating a podcast that's called Growth, which we launched this fall. What would you say growth means to you and to your company?
Growth is something we talk about every hour, all day, all week.
Yeah.
For us, growth means scaling, and scaling means growing the revenue faster than we grow the number of headcounts. And in more detail, for Inspire Me, that has to do with how many self-service subscriptions we are able to sell, and also how many new markets we're able to expand Inspire Me to.
Yeah, cool. And one thing that both Oslo Innovation Week, but also we at Epicenter want to see more of is growing companies and scale-ups. Is there one thing in particular that you would say Norway or the Nordics could get better at to get more growth companies as such?
Well, it's maybe too easy to go into politics here, but I have been very passionate about changing the option agreement structure in Norway.
Yeah.
We know that how favorable the option agreement is correlated with how much VC money is invested into a country. And it's also a very, very important tool to recruit talent. And as we all know, your team is your most important ingredients to succeed. So I would start there.
Yeah, that's true. Is there one leader that you admire or that inspire you?
Yeah. Well, as a COO in a software company, I have been a huge fan of Sheryl Sandberg for many, many years. I love her view on leadership and culture. But also more locally, I admire Carmen Ducos. I think what he's been able to do with Oda in a very short amount of time has been just incredible and very inspiring.
Yeah. Tell me, now if you weren't the COO of Inspire Me and you could choose anything in the world, what would you do?
Switch roles with my co-founder, and then he could be the COO and I could be the CEO. I don't know. I'm very laser focused on Inspire Me right now.
Yeah.
I would say like my second passion is the startup scene in general in Norway. So I have spent quite a lot of time trying to change that for the better, so we can make sure we also can start new companies in the future and help them succeed in Norway.
Yeah, nice. Is there one thing out there that you wish that you could learn, something new that you could learn or experience?
Yeah, I want to. It's so boring. I've always wanted to learn French.
Well,
I love France. I love French food, fashion, the whole shebang. And it would be, as we all know, like the French are not that interested in speaking English. So being able to speak French when I go there would be awesome.
Yeah. So over to my next question, because the answer should be Duolingo. But what's the most used app on your phone?
It should be Duolingo.
Yeah.
It's podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. With Instagram as a close second.
Yeah.
We do work a lot with Instagram, so I can use that as an excuse. But I'm a huge fan of podcasts.
Yeah, cool. I know this is going to be good, but what's your secret talent or your superpower?
Yeah, we talked a little bit about this earlier today.
Yeah.
I've always wanted like a party trick, because you get that question a lot. It would be so cool to just like say something that would be very impressive. But I did realize that there was one thing this summer that I learned that I do a little bit better than other people, which it's a little bit hard to explain, but essentially it's this game where you put a gummy bear on your forehead and then you're supposed to get the gummy bear into your mouth without using your hands. And I did that in 17 seconds and was able to do it again.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe that's my secret trick. I don't know what I can use it for, but it's something.
I mean, it's a good icebreaker, I guess. You should fill your pockets with the gummy bears, and if there's awkward
Always
silence,
have a
you
gummy
can.
bear at
Oh,
hand.
I have a trick. Yeah, let me show you something. It takes 17 seconds.
Yeah.
Tops. Yeah, that's great. You mentioned that you enjoy podcasts, but is there a TV show or maybe a film that you could wish you would be able to see for the first time again?
Oh, I'm seeing a lot of films for the second time these days. Because instead of trying to find a really good movie to watch, we've just realized that it's better to watch a movie that you already know is good again. So I watched A Beautiful Mind for the second time, amazing. Inception for the second time, also amazing. So I don't know, I felt like the same kind of excitement I think I felt when I watched them for the first time. So maybe it doesn't matter that I've already seen them.
But that's great that you get that same reaction feeling to the film. Now we're halfway with this year's Oslo Innovation Week, but is there anything in particular that you've been looking forward to this year?
Yeah, there's a track called Scaling Your Growth Company, which is spot on for the phase that Inspire Me is currently in. So I noticed a couple of sessions. There's one session called the Do's and Don'ts of Scaling Your Growth Company with people from Spacemaker and Otovo. So I figured, that's something I definitely should attend, and maybe we can learn from them what we should do and shouldn't do, and not have to go through that ourselves. Maybe learn some shortcuts.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be awesome.
Learn from others.
Yeah.
That's great. Now, since we are halfway, we've also started planning for next year already. So there's an Oslo Innovation Week coming in 2022. Is there anything that you would wish to see even more of in the coming year?
Well, I think when you talk about scaling a company, it's easy to start talking about revenue, the product. But for me, I think maybe even trickier is how to scale the organization and also how to scale the culture. Like if you're able to scale the revenue and scale the product, but in the process your team breaks or the culture breaks, then that's really going to hurt your company. So that's something I would like to see on the program as well.
Yeah. Every event producer out there should take notes for next year. Now, last, we tend to...
And as a guest, I would love to see on the program as well, Sheryl Sandberg. She would do an amazing keynote on how to scale the culture.
That's coming, yeah. Let's hope so. Fingers crossed. To end our show today, we ask our guests if there's any piece of advice that they've received in the past that they want to put forward to our listeners in the years. Any advice from you, Marie, at the end?
I think I've learned how important culture and the values are when you're building a company, and also how easy it is to overlook those things, because in the beginning as a founder you have to do 1,000,002 things. You have to sell, you have to market the company, talk to investors, recruiting, accounting, everything. And it's very easy to feel like you don't have time to work on things that are less tangible, like culture and values. But then by focusing on those things, you are, for example, less likely to do a wrong hire, and a wrong hire can really hurt your company. So that's I guess an advice. Even though those things feel like they're not going to move the needle, they will, and it is worth it to focus on.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Now, people, make sure to check out Oslo Innovation Week. There's a lot of events going on today, so go online, sign up either to the virtual events or to the physical events. Now, see you again tomorrow.